Trojan Horse.
Or, more accurately, the episode you've all been waiting for.
Our mission is to gather data on the Trojan Horse and its mobile suits currently proceeding within Xeon-controlled airspace.
This mission is by far the most legendary in the entire game.
We're authorized to attack should it become necessary, but this should be considered a last resort. Our primary objective is surveillance and intelligence gathering.
And by last resort, we mean you could not possibly win a fight with these people.
This is the same enemy unit that survived an all-out assault of our mobile squadron. No one has ever witnessed such battle strength. Avoid confrontations at all cost.
Yep, this is gonna be, data acquisition. It's demeaning, but someone has to collect data on the Trojan Horse. We cannot beat the enemy given our current battle strength. Avoid battle and collect data. Trojan Horse's location is unknown, also known as the upper left-hand corner of the map. Set your own routes, which means turn off your routes. Enemy mobile suits are ready to attack, so data acquisition will not be easy. Attacking in teams, I think that's a period there, not a comma. Some teams will act as decoys to lure the enemy, and smoke grenades and decoys using effectively evading enemy pursuit, blah blah blah. None of that's important here. Although we will be using some smoke grenades later, and I honestly have to say I'm kind of impressed with myself on that one. So, there's something kind of important you should know about this video in particular. I will be doing 2 run-throughs of the stage. The first shows my general strategy for completing the stage with an S rank, although I kind of screw it up a little at the end. And it's also kind of would have been a test run, so to speak, because like there's parts where I pause in there. It's problematic. I make a lot of errors in the gameplay in this video here, like, you know, going to the wrong section first. Industrial region, rich in mineral resources off the coast of the Black Sea, near the former port city of the Ukraine, Odessa. Odessa, Ukraine. Duh. Sorry, just... well, either way. New Federation battleship. I don't think you can actually shoot at it, which is good, because, you know, you couldn't destroy it anyway. The white one is the Mobile Suit Gundam. From our battle data, it is clear that this is a high-caliber machine in all respects. Oh yes. This mobile suit's beam rifle is equal to the destructive power of the main cannons of our Musai-class cruisers. This mobile suit is equipped with 2 shoulder cannons. We believe it is a mid-range support mobile suit. Of course, it's not like we fought any of them at... oh, wait. Tank-type mobile suit. It has reinforced frontal armor, and its double long-range shoulder cannons are powerful. Powerful enough to destroy any unit in a single hit. Running on Caterpillar treads, its lack of mobility is made up for by its firepower. Do not underestimate it. This is basically how you actually get the data here. So, with that having been said, trying to think exactly what I kind of lost my train of thought. That's unfortunate. This is kind of a weird...
The information provided on the Trojan Horse's route is just a projection, so it may not be reliable.
I already know where it's located.
We'll probably have to locate it on our own.
I already know where it is.
Minovsky particle density is bound to be high wherever the Trojan Horse passes.
Interestingly, if you look at the...
We'll be sure to nab them if we comb those areas first.
If you look at the route screen, or the route setup screen, it actually shows you on the map specific locations that the Trojan Horse might be located. Or you could just look at the stage design, that works too.
It would help to get up on a small hill or something to get a clear view, but that'd also make it easier for the enemy to find us.
Of course they already know where we are, technically.
This is wild, hunting down the Trojan Horse in a new mobile suit.
Yeah?
Even the late Captain Garma's mobile squadron and the Ramba Raw unit couldn't destroy them.
Yeah, this is after Ramba got his ass kicked. Amazing. So...
I'm real curious about their battle strength.
So let's just keep sending more Zaku's at it. That'll totally work.
Our mission is to search out the enemy and gather information. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I will
I
not.
hear you, old man. Whatever happens, I won't do anything stupid.
Not until the second run through of the stage.
I often dream of the tragedy when Lord Garma perished during his mission. I can't help but dread them.
I really feel bad in this situation here, because this isn't really funny. I mean, I get the idea of how much... Okay, there's a bit of a music skip in there because I kind of rearranged how I wanted to do this. I'm going to show you the run-through that, if I'd played it correctly, would have been the S-rank run-through, and give you the basic strategy for how to get an S-rank in the stage. But I should point out that getting an S-rank in the stage really doesn't require getting data on all the mobile suits. So, this will not actually be a complete version of the ending. I set up a bunch of additional components here for Rower. Rower is an obvious inclusion in the stage for various reasons. You'll see really the most important one in the second video, or the second run-through. In the first run-through, though, it's basically because he has the longest range weapon of any unit in the game right now. He's the only unit with a sniper rifle, or an assault rifle as it's called in the game, because, okay, sure. Nikki is the other unit that has a long enough range weapon while still being relatively fast, because he's a Zaku 2 pilot, whereas Matt's unit is a little slow. So... And for some reason I agonize over taking decoys, despite the fact that decoys are freaking useless. I'm sure there's some purpose to decoys, but... You know, honestly, if you can show me what the purpose of a decoy is, then maybe I could use it in a later video, but at this point, I got nothing. I got nothing at all. I checked there to see if Tepner had a bazooka or something. She doesn't. She never gets anything other than a machine gun, if I'm not mistaken. So, here we go. This is the attempted S-rank run-through of the stage.
All units, move out. Roger.
The basic objective of the stage is fairly simple. We'll spend a few moments early on destroying decoys in order to rack up points for a higher rank. The decoys are the various blue target enemies that you'll find as you travel through the stage. These are very basic targets, and they will not fight back, obviously. Destroying enough of these is really the key to getting an S-rank, because your S-rank is based entirely on points and nothing else. Destroying these and not losing any unit are basically the two keys to getting an S-rank. Now, you don't really need radar cloaks or thermal cloaks or anything. Enemies will find you no matter what you do, so you don't worry about that. And here I take a bit of a risk by actually trying to take this one out, because that's dangerously close to the line that spawns in the gun cannon and gun tank. So, yeah. Now, we are headed towards the little corner where we're going to park Nikki for a little while. For the first run-through here. Simple enough. We'll be taking out that decoy soon enough. So, for now, we'll just, mess around with the pause button and the command button, because I don't know what the hell I was doing here, and I really have no idea how this ended up being so weird. Anyway, we are attacking other decoys. The formation buttons are useless unless you actually have a squad of units, and the only reason to bring a squad to this stage is to hear Amuro count off the numbers as he kills every one of you. 2 suits will do the job just fine, and the only reason you need 2 is because one is a decoy. Seriously, one of them is a decoy for the Gundam. Here I position myself in the actual corner. And you want to stay far back behind where that little... Like, if you go around that corner into the hallway where you can shoot at the decoy, you will get detected. And you can't get detected yet. We're almost there. Almost there. Up ahead, Rower.
What? An enemy? Send out gun cannon and gun tank on the double! Isn't Gundam ready to launch yet?
No, I understand they're not done with the repairs.
Then tell them to hurry it up!
Our mission is simply surveillance and data collection. Try to avoid contact with the enemy if you can.
You know, in a lot of other video games, I'd say that they were daring you to try and fight them. But this is Gundam. They don't do that kind of crap. They really don't.
I found the gun tank.
Roger. Please begin gathering data.
You've got to be kidding! Where in the world is Amuro?
They've just finished with emergency repairs to Gundam. The course is clear. Amuro, is Gundam ready to launch?
Catapult connected! Amuro launching!
Yep. Amuro has spawned in on the map. And also the thing I'm pointing at right now is actually a decoy, and it takes me a little while to figure that out. But okay, Amuro will go after, usually...
I found the white one.
Yeah, the
Gundam.
closer target.
Roger. Please begin gathering data.
Or the first target to breach the defense line or something. Now, notice where the pink dot is standing in comparison to the blue dot on the little map in the bottom right-hand corner? The AI in this game has a
I found the gun cannon.
Roger. Please begin gathering data.
A very interesting little thing that it does that's kind of quirky and also the only way that you actually finish this stage, because if it didn't do this, you'd be screwed. Just straight up screwed. You would not be able to do anything. You would not be able to complete this stage. I told you last time about the idea of the beam rifles being able to shoot through walls. Now, obviously, despite the fact that they know where you are...
Gathering data now. Data has been received.
They don't do that. Simple enough, right? Yeah. You notice the Gundam is not moving? There I got in range of the gun cannon and got punished for it. The Gundam does not come around the corner to attack you. It waits for you to get into a position where it will move to attack you when you're exposed. If you take cover behind the corner, Amuro will not attack you. So...
Gathering data now. Data has been received.
So why does it do that? Well, because honestly, you could not beat this stage without that, at least from what I can gather. I learned about this from a GameFAQs guide way back when I started playing this game.
I found the...
Without that, there would be no way at all that I would have been able to complete this game.
Lost transmission with the Nikki unit. Gathering data now. Data has been received.
Point and laugh at him now.
All right, operation complete. It's not our job to get them, after all.
And that's that. That's how you complete the stage and get an S rank, with one minor issue. You have to make it so that Nikki doesn't get shot down. And I guess technically you could use any Zaku in that position.
We were
and it
able
would
to locate the
work.
Trojan horse and collect the minimum data required. I'm sure the information obtained will prove useful for future operations.
It would work, but it wouldn't be a good idea. The longer range weapons actually help with taking out the decoys early on. But you know what? That doesn't feel like completion to me, so... This time, we're going after all 3 units. It's a fairly simple change that we make here. A few fairly simple changes. We'll be using the same 2 mobile suits, so again, Nikki and Rower will be utilized here. I changed what teams they were on, and I also went to just setting up whatever the right equipment was. Now, the reason I took the smoke screen is because I kind of knew what I was going to have to do here at the end of the mission to get all 3 of them. So, yeah, this will be fun. Nothing has changed about Rower's setup. It's still the rifle and then the various sensor boosts and night scope. But Nikki...
All unit.
This was recorded on a different day, and I skipped... In any case, Rower's actually a better choice for the red route, specifically for 2 reasons. Number 1, he has longer range, which means he can hit the decoys more safely than Nikki can. And number 2, and this one is the really important one. I mean, the really, really important one. He has a suit with a medium-type shield and a lot more health than Mizaku. And that's going to come into play very obviously later on in the mission. So here I'm just traveling around taking out decoys, same as before. But you see those rocks on the left there? Right there. Yeah, those rocks? That's where we're going to be parking this time when we actually want to call the enemies to us. The gun tank does not move from its position, which means that nothing you do will really get the gun tank to leave the spot it's in. So now you have to try and plan around the idea of trying to get the Gundam and gun cannon into a better position if you're going to do it this way. Now this seems to be the easiest strategy I've come up with for getting all of the suits detected, or all of the data, but here's the thing. Adding the gun cannon's data to the total is another 400 points. That's really not very many. In the long run, it actually is more valuable to you to just do it the way I showed you at first when you're going for an S rank. Just try to make sure that Nikki doesn't get killed. If you do it that way, it actually works out pretty well. You get enough points to get your S rank, but you don't have to go through the unnecessary process of trying to make sure that you get the data on all the suits, while also keeping everything distracted with a slightly more resilient mobile suit than Mizaku. It may not be the absolute optimum answer, but it's good. Not great, just good. So now I kind of move Rower into position to get ready to make a mad dash to his, the point where he's got cover waiting for him. Simple enough. The first 2 have shown up, the gun tank and the gun cannon. Gun tank is in its position up on the hill. It might actually start there as far as I know, but it's not important. Gun cannon is leaving through the front catapult and is on its way now down to...
I found the gun cannon.
Rower. It actually starts moving to a specific point first, and then it'll kind of pick a target and focus on it based on what's closer to it.
Gathering data now. Data...
Yep, Rower can actually tank the cannon. Or tank the gun cannon. Now that he's in that position, the gun cannon will not move.
I found the gun tank!
Roger. Please, big...
He sounds so cute.
You've got to be kidding! Where in the world is Amuro?
I found
They
the
just
gun
finished
tank!
with emergency repairs to Gundam. The course is clear. Amuro, is Gundam ready to launch?
Catapult connected! Amuro launching!
Alright, Amuro has left the front part of the machine. You can actually see him moving. And this is where things get kind of funny. Take a look at where Amuro stops moving. You know, in a moment, when I switch over to Rower. He could hold the arm out, look through the little aiming scope, and see your mobile suit through the scope of the rifle. I mean, are you kidding me with this guy? God. Now here's where things get a little interesting. Whew.
Gathering data now.
And thank goodness the cutscene just ate that cannon shot. Oh my. And now the second smoke screen provides me the cover I need to actually reach the white base and get the data before the gun tank figures out where I am.
Gathering data now. Data has been received.
And Nicky Roberto has actually proven himself to be a surprisingly capable pilot somehow.
Commander, Lieutenant Uragan is on the line for you.
Lieutenant Uragan here. We've received sufficient data on the Trojan Horse. End your pursuit. Return at once.
Mission complete. All units, return at once.
Victory! Total, absolute, complete victory! Which means we get a different ending cutscene and a different ending dialogue this time. Or monologue. It's a monologue because one person's talking. Sorry.
We were able to locate the Trojan Horse. Our team collected sufficient data on both the battleship and its mobile suits, though there was some risk involved. I'm certain that our efforts weren't in vain, and that the data will prove valuable in future operations.
Beautiful. And that, everyone who's watching, is how you get all the data. I hope you've enjoyed me going through this mission twice, just to get the two endings for you.
By the time we'd reached the combat zone of the Gobi Desert, our allied forces were already losing.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was probably the case.
With the supply base presently secured, our scattered troops could now link up, which would allow us to regroup.
Which is partially the definition of the word regroup. Kind of, maybe.
However, this was just one small victory in the overall picture. Up until this point, we'd been successfully defending the base, but I wasn't sure how long we could go on like this.
Not for very long, thankfully.
Once the enemy troops reorganized, they were sure to attack again, and soon.
Are we gonna have to play the Gobi Desert stage again?
November 7th, Odessa. At the request of Captain Makuve, we left the Gobi Desert supply base to assist in the Odessa operations.
We arrived the next day because we just walked
We were
across half
assigned
of
to
Asia.
the front line, where the enemy's main forces were reported to be steadily advancing.
Yep, that's what we're
Our
doing.
objective was to keep the enemy at bay until the Black Tri-Stars returned from their assault on the Trojan Horse, which had been approaching from the rear.
Oh boy.
Thank you for coming. Uragan will provide you with all the details.
Okay, you slammy son of a...
Excellent work in the Gobi Desert. Now your unit will be stationed within a segment of our defense line where the enemy's main forces are being deployed.
Simple enough.
According to intelligence, the enemy will commence an all-out attack at dawn.
The next mission.
To counter this, we must hold off the enemy until the Black Tri-Stars return. On a somber note, Lieutenant Mash lost his life in battle.
So, wouldn't they be the Black Bi-Stars now?
Once the Black Tri-Stars return, we will switch to offensive maneuvers.
Or something like that?
Make no mistake, though. Captain Makuve firmly believes that in this battle, the first one to move will undoubtedly lose.
Nope! Nope. Just nope. Yeah, next mission is, to me, the hardest one in the game, but at least we get a few new pilots to help us. So I'll see you all when we get to it.